Told you this would make silver explode. Let's start. Now, Kitco today tells us that silver can still outperform gold even as prices fall. This is exactly what we've been waiting for. The article states silver continues to underperform with the precious metals market and has been unable to hold gains above $25 an ounce even as gold prices hold near their record highs. We've been waiting patiently, waiting for this silver to finally show itself and really jump up in price. Well, according to Kitco, silver can outperform gold, and Kitco is not the only one stating this claim that silver will outperform gold and has in the past. This article states, despite the disappointing price action, many analysts remain optimistic that silver will have its turn to shine in the spotlight. It says, even with higher volatility, Nikki Shields, head of metals strategy at MKS PAMP, said silver is building a solid floor above $23 an ounce, and she added that she sees potential for the white metal to reach $28 an ounce this year. I think that's being very conservative. I see silver easily at $30 an ounce, and I don't think that I'm being too much of a dreamer seeing that. Gold really has made such a solid jump and is leveled out, but it's staying pretty close to $2,200 an ounce. So I see, just as history has shown, back when gold broke 1,000, silver took a little bit, but silver eventually really shot up, and I could see it really going up. So this article continues. It says the bullish outlook comes as gold prices hold solid support above $2,150 an ounce. Spot silver has fallen to a one-week low, last trading at $24.30 an ounce, down more than 1% on the day. The gold-silver ratio remains elevated and is above 89 points. However, with inflation expected to remain stubbornly elevated for longer than forecasted, Shields said that she expects the ratio to start falling. And I see that as well. I see as, even though we are hearing and talking of rate cuts coming, three rate cuts coming as 2024 plays out, inflation is absolutely a good word, stubborn, as this article states. Stubborn inflation is still here, and that will keep everything elevated. Gold certainly, if you asked me 2 weeks ago, I really thought that was going to be a brief spike for gold. I did. I thought gold was just going to spike briefly to the first jump that I made. I think it was around 2,100, and I thought that it was going to drop back down. I wasn't the only one. There are many people that saw that coming. And so to see gold now hovering at that strong price, I absolutely see silver following. Let's continue. The article states U.S. growth has exceeded expectations as the Fed manufactures a soft landing while ROW global growth is established. With expected easier G10 monetary policy now collectively tolerating a higher for longer inflation regime, high beta cycle commodities like silver should outperform and the ratio should re-rate lower, she said in a note published last week. Last week, the Federal Reserve signaled that it was still on track to lower interest rates 3 times this year. We know this, and even as inflation remains above its 2% target. The article says, along with easing interest rates, Shields noted that silver remains well supported by strong supply and demand fundamentals as demand continues to outpace supply. And we certainly see so much demand coming from the industry side of silver. I think half of silver is half of the silver supply goes to industrial demand. And that is not going away. We are seeing the demand for silver in electric vehicles. We're seeing it with solar panels, and that is not going away. That is just going to push silver and keep it at a higher price as demand. There's only a certain amount of silver, and even though we hear all these reports of how silver is plentiful, the numbers don't really show that story. The numbers show that there's more demand, and there certainly will continue to be more demand as this green revolution plays out. If there's ever a reason to be excited about this green revolution, it's in silver, because silver is necessary for all these products, and the price of silver is certainly going to be impacted as this all plays out. Now, here's the other reason that silver is set to explode, and this comes from a CPM group. It says silver's strength is that it is neither strategic nor critical. Now, this sounds like somebody's getting too deep in the weeds over the words to describe silver, but it's not. This actually has to do with policy, and this is directly related to silver price. This article states, recently, there have been calls by members of the silver market to have governments declare silver strategic or critical metal. Such a move would be detrimental to the silver market. It would be detrimental to producers. It would be detrimental to users and stackers for sure. Efforts to have silver labeled a strategic or critical metal are misguided on a number of levels. And this article states that silver is not strategic or critical. It states that silver's strength lies in the very fact that it has none of the characteristics that come with a strategic or critical metal. This author says, if silver were a strategic or critical metal, as these terms are defined by governments and other authorities, then silver would not be used in as many applications in the way it is used, and its market would be burdened with many nuances that would limit silver's attractiveness both to fabricators that do or might in the future use silver in their products and to investors. What that is saying in a long-winded approach is that if silver was identified as a strategic or critical metal, there will be government oversight, there will be government regulations, there will be government involvement directly into the silver market because it's a necessary metal. So metals that are deemed strategic or critical, it might sound like, oh, we want that for silver. We would like to have silver identified as strategic or critical. But really, as this article points out, I'm just summarizing it. I don't want to go too deep into reading this entire article, but I'll summarize it for you. What they're saying is that if a metal is identified as strategic or critical, the government interference would just be so heavy and the regulations would be such a burden on the silver market that it would directly interfere with the price of silver. And especially now, this moment we're in time, presently, as we see gold shoot up in price and we're waiting for silver, we would have government interference in the price. So this natural market flow that we are waiting for with silver and that we have in the past enjoyed, and what we come to expect with silver's performance, that will be impacted because government would have their fingers and their paws all in the silver market if we were to identify it as a strategic metal. This article does summarize it nicely, and they state the strength of the silver market is its relative abundance. Along with its electrical, chemical, and physical attributes, the silver market and silver price benefit from silver not being a strategic or critical metal. The fact that there are ample supplies of silver allows the solar panel industry and other manufacturers to use silver in cost-effective applications. That is a powerful positive for silver that should be emphasized by the silver mining industry and not promoting silver as being a critical metal that governments should start interfering with. If there's one thing that I can say with confidence regarding our silver stacking community, it is that we want less. We enjoy less government interference in our silver stacking and our gold stacking. The last thing that we want is to have to worry about a governing body or a regulatory agency really getting involved in the price of silver, specifically the spot price that we follow so often. And as I say that, I need to note that really the pro silver snackers, and I say this for gold also, they all say the same thing. We should not be staring at the spot price as often as we do. I'm just like you. I'm always checking the spot price for silver and gold. But we're not supposed to really. You're supposed to just set your goals and buy what you can when you can. Put it aside. That's why we call it stacking, and just let that metal do what it does best, which is increase in value over time, and it always does. It might fluctuate a bit, but this is why we stack silver. This is why I'm holding silver in my hand, because it always, actually, I really should cover this while I'm speaking. It's a bad habit to hold a proof silver eagle and then speak with my with it right near me. Anyway, we're not supposed to look at the spot price so often. We're really supposed to just set our long-term goal, because this is a long game, and hold that stack. Even as gold bumps in price, we are really should not be getting excited and dumping gold. I'd say at best, I've seen some people lately who are swapping out gold or combining a couple of gold bars or gold coins to get something that has always been on their wish list. But it's still going to be gold. It's still going to be silver. It's still going to be a metal that they will hold for a long time, not just cashing it out to then blow through that cash or pay to a bill. That is my stacker's nightmare. I hate the thought of cashing out any of what I've accumulated through all these many years. I hate the thought of cashing it out to have to pay a bill. That just, even saying that, it hurts me to say it.